if we're being honest, ain't really nothing that Caitlin Clark can do.
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go. Hard work, work. Everybody doing it right. Hard work, work, work. That's what you say. Hard work, work, work. Earn my pay. Hard work, work. Hard work, do it every day. Hard work, work. Get up out of 2:45. Hard work, work. Let me go and earn my pay. Hard work, work. Boots on and lace.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? You're tuning to the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show. I'm your host, Big Sarge. Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with a Z at the end. Make sure you follow me on the Tick and the Talk at Big Sarge Media. Hey, IG, Big Sarge Sports with a Z at the end. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel at Big Sarge Media. And don't forget, www.bigsargemedia.com. All right. Hey, what y'all got planned for the weekend? Hey, look, drop it in the comments. Drop it in the comments. Whoa. Hi. Hello. I ain't gonna lie. Miss Alexis, I gotta tell you this. Well, let me call you this. Miss Baptiste, I gotta tell you this. I honestly and truly appreciate the support. Like, if it ain't one, I know it's one person that I know on social media that's gonna show me some support, and it's gonna be, and I appreciate that. I'm gonna sing at your wedding. What you want me to sing, Luther? A chair is still a chair, even when there's no one sitting there. But a room is not a house, and a house is not a home when there's no one there to turn the key. Sorry, y'all. In my former life, I was Big Luther, not Little Luther. I was Big Luther. But what y'all got planned for the weekend? Drop that in the comments section. Comments are open. I will try to read each and every one. Who got a birthday? Happy birthday, boss. It ain't my birthday. My birthday ain't until January. Now, hold on. Marcus, you bring up a good, this is a, listen, it ain't my birthday until January, right? But, I mean, if you want to give me a birthday gift, I will give you my Cash App. If you want to give me an early birthday gift, and it brings up something funny because, you know, one of my best friends, God rest his soul, Jamon Carter, that boy had 2 birthdays every year. Every year he had 2 birthdays. And I'm saying to myself, how are you getting away with this? He had people believing that he had a different set of people believing that different days was his birthday. His birthday wasn't until whatever day LeBron James' birthday is. I think what LeBron and Tiger got the same birthday, right? Whatever day that is, he had the same birthday. But then it'd be like in June, he picked like a random day, like June 16th or something, and that's his birthday too. I was like, bro, how are you getting away with this? I digress. Drop what you're doing this weekend if you can, if it's legal, if it ain't gonna get you in no trouble. Drop it in the comments. And the reason why I'm asking y'all what y'all doing, because what Sarge is doing is I gotta take off the Big Sarge hat and put on the pawpaw hat. That's right. My grandbabies, I thought she said happy birthday, and she said happy Friday. my grandbabies will be here in the state of Texas. Their father is in the Marines, and so they're currently stationed in California. Before that, they were stationed in Hawaii. So outside of FaceTime, I haven't seen my grandbabies in person in a very long time. And so this weekend, I get a chance to see them. And it's so, for those of you all who have been following me for a very long time, for those of you all who have been following me, you know, so this is my late wife Jamila's oldest daughter, right? This is her oldest daughter who is bringing my oldest granddaughter, and then the second one that's mixed in with because it's like 6 of them. Yeah, it's like 6 grandkids. And so Doodle is the oldest, and ZZ is mixed in there somewhere. And so they like 10-6. And so Doodle's 10. I get to text with her a lot. I get to, she just sends me all these. We were just texting emojis back and forth yesterday while she was in the car. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Listen, I get emotional. I do. I get emotional. I will cry. I don't have a problem crying. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. I don't have tears cleanses the soul, so I don't have a problem crying. And so I was on FaceTime with their mom when she told them that they were coming to Texas and they were gonna get a chance to see Paw Paw. And they started running around the room, hugging each other, jumping up and down. And you know me, I lost it. Thug tear, of course, because like I said, I haven't seen them in a long time. Um, they are near and dear to my heart. Without getting too personal, I know how much I mean to them and how much they mean to me. And I cannot wait. So I'm gonna spend the day with them on Saturday. I'm gonna drive to where they are, and I'm gonna spend the day with them, and then I'll drive back to Houston so I can get ready for the game on Sunday. Um, He says, hold on. No, hold. So this is the funny part, right? Marcus says, you got kids and grandkids for days. You were something else before you got delivered. Hey, listen, before I was saved, sanctified, and filled with Crown Royal apple, right? Right. No. So my late wife had 4 kids from a previous marriage. My wife now has 2 kids from a previous marriage. I have one biological daughter that will be 25 this year. So when you hear me talk about my grandkids, that's from my late wife's daughters has kids. One has 4, 2 boys, 2 girls, and then another one has just the 2 girls. So anyway, I ain't gonna even lie. When I come back on here on Monday, I'm gonna be emotional. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. It's gonna be some emotional times, and I'm gonna share it real quickly, before I start talking about how the Texans defeated the Jags, because that's what I think. We'll get into that here pretty soon. And I have a big announcement to make next week. I think y'all are gonna like it. When I found out about it, I was very appreciative for the opportunity. I'm very excited for the opportunity that's about to take place for me. That doesn't mean that I will be leaving the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show. You will still get this show daily. And I wanted to do it at 9:30 this morning, but I had some other things that I had to take care of to get prepared and get ready for the big announcement that I'm going to make to you all next week. But I will still be here giving you this daily show. I'll still be here talking sports, life, everything. So you don't have to worry about that. Sarge is still gonna be right here, but he's just adding to his repertoire. Plus, I was tired this morning. I went to bed late last night. I had to do so I did a radio hit that's going to be, I'm gonna share it with you all on Sunday. Before the Jags and for the Texans and Jags game, I did a radio hit last night. I was also on my guy Big Game James podcast. And so I used to work in a jail, work for the security for the. Okay, well, I'll see you soon then. Definitely see you soon. But then I was on Big Game James podcast, James Coleman down in former Florida State, and I think he played for the New Orleans Saints, but he covers the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I was on his podcast last night. And then I had to watch the Cowboys. I'm not going to waste you all's time talking about the Cowboys today. I'll wait till next week when we're talking about the rest of the NFL. Such a disappointment. Okay, look, I watch now because I'm like my fandom won't allow me not to watch. Oh, okay, you know, okay. My fandom won't allow me not to watch the Cowboys. Like it's almost like embedded in my brain that whenever the Cowboys on, I gotta watch. Or if I can't watch during that time because I'm working, I will go back and watch. Well, no, I don't even. I have it on, so we have to talk about that later. Once again, you're tuned to the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show. I'm your host, Big Sarge. I've given you everything that you needed to follow me. Let's go ahead and jump into this thing right quick. All right. And so on social media, I asked a question. On social media, I asked a question, and I'm going to bring it to you right now, and then drop your answers in the comments. So we have been watching what Coach Deion Sanders, Shador Sanders, and Travis Hunter has been doing at the University of Colorado. They have revived that program, a program that was like desolate, like that nobody really cared about the University of Colorado until Coach Sanders showed up, till Coach Prime showed up, and pump some life back into that university. Now they weren't the best of best last year, but just the pure excitement of what he's done and how he's made Colorado a household name in the last 2 years is amazing. You got to tip your hat to Coach Sanders for that. And so what he has on his team is a first round talent at the quarterback position in his son Shador Sanders, who I think that can be that I know from looking at him will be an NFL quarterback, of course, but there are some things that I feel like he needs to work on his game. Sometimes I feel like he's a little stiff, and when you have that type of offensive line that you're playing behind, sometimes he takes unnecessary hits because he isn't getting out of the pocket. It just doesn't look like he's as fluid as he should be sometimes. And I don't know if that's by design, if he plays better sitting in the pocket. I'm not telling him to pull the ball down and run at all times, but sometimes he just looks a little too stiff. So I'm pretty sure that he's going to get with some people that's going to help him loosen up a little bit and be able to have more mobility in the pocket. And that's just me. That's just me. Now, somebody else may have a whole different outlook, a whole different view on what Shador Sanders is. So cool. But what Coach Prime also has is generational talent at the defensive back position and the wide receiver position in Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter is him. Like Travis Hunter is him dunking. He like Hemi Butler. He Hemi Neutron. Like he's him. He's him. There isn't a more exciting player in college football right now than Travis Hunter. And not only is he exciting, he's humble. He's a great student from what I'm reading. And he is one of those guys that every time he's on the field, he makes plays or helps make plays for others. Now, you've seen the Hail Mary pass that got them into overtime last week against the Baylor Bears with 2 seconds left. And I'm pretty sure by now, a lot of you all have heard about what he said on how he wanted to help get that play designed. And he said that, told him, hey, put me on one side, let me run up the field and cause a distraction, and then y'all roll to the other side and see who's open. And you see that play worked. They went into overtime, and then in overtime, after Colorado scored, it was Travis Hunter who hit the running back and made him fumble to end the game. And so he made plays all throughout that game, and that's what he's been able to do his last what time can you see him playing in the NFL? I see him playing at the defensive back position. Actually, I don't think that he can play. I don't think he can play both sides of the ball. He has to pick one. And I think he's very good at defensive back. I think he's good at wide receiver too, but I think he's better at defensive back. So Travis Hunter, right? And even though he got hurt last year in the Colorado State game and had to miss a couple of games, he still has been the most exciting football player in the last 2 years in college football. And so with that being said, how many games do you all think that it's going to take for Travis Hunter to win the Heisman Trophy? How many games do you think Colorado has to win in order for them how many games do you think Colorado has to win in order for Travis Hunter to win the Heisman Trophy? Because they're currently 3-1. In their remaining games, they got 8 remaining games, and they play 3 ranked opponents. They got number 23 Kansas State, number 10 Utah, number 20 Oklahoma State. Number 23 Kansas State, number 10 Utah, number 23 Oklahoma State. And I'm just like, how many games? They're currently 3-1. How many of those remaining 8 games do they have to win in order for Travis Hunter to be awarded the 2024 Heisman Trophy? Because if they're currently 3-1, in those 8 games, I feel like if they can go 5-3 in those remaining 8 games, that'll give them an 8-4 record. That'll make them bowl eligible, and they're good. Even if they go 4-4, right? My pen is starting to die out on me. Let me see if this pen works. Even if they go 4-4, that'll give them a 7-5 record. Still will make them bowl eligible. He wins it, right? He has to. And don't get me wrong, I know that Miami quarterback Cam Ward is doing an outstanding and amazing job, but I see if they can just win in those 8 games, if they can go 500, they're currently 3-1. He can win the Heisman, especially with the way that he plays and at the level that he plays at. I know they want to give it to a quarterback, but at this point, I mean, hey, Travis Hunter is outplaying a lot of quarterbacks right now in the way that he's playing. And not only that, between him and Shedeur Sanders, they are keeping Colorado relevant. Now, after they leave Colorado, I don't know what's going to happen. Oh, I do know what's going to happen. If I had to take an educated guess, in my opinion, today the Dallas Cowboys announced that they have hired former NFL player, Hall of Famer, and former Colorado Buffaloes coach Deion Sanders to be their next head coach. That's what's going to happen. It's exactly what's going to happen. Oh, here my guy is. Ricky. I told y'all this is the guy. Follow him on social media. Hey, Ricky, drop your ats, because this guy is my go-to as far as high school and college is concerned. Hey, look, there's no better than I can find. The rest of the game, sadly, he is currently plus 1,700 odds for the Heisman. 7 players in front of him are projected to be on a playoff team. I get that, Ricky. I understand that. But on those playoff teams, right? On those 7 players that are currently on playoff teams, how many of them are as vital to their teams as Travis Hunter is? Because even without Shedeur Sanders, I think that Travis Hunter can keep Colorado in the game. If something was to happen to Shedeur, and knock on wood that it doesn't, I still believe that having Travis Hunter on the field on both sides of the ball keeps them competitive. But when you lose him, we've seen what happens when they lose him. And so I get it. Some of these teams got a lot of talent around these other players that are in front of him. When you look at that team, they have him, they got Shedeur, maybe like 2 other players. Now, let me quickly move on, because there's something else that I really wanted to get to when we're speaking about this. Can Travis Hunter, how many games will it take for Colorado to win out and their remaining 8 games before Travis Hunter is awarded the 2024 Heisman Trophy? So if let's just say they go 5-3, right? 5-3 in their last 8 games, which will make them, what did I say? 8-4 bowl eligible, get them to a pretty good bowl, doesn't get them into the 12-team playoff. I cannot see Colorado doing that, but gets them into a good bowl game, gets them into a game where there'll be a lot of eyes on them. I don't know if Travis Hunter will play in that game or not. I don't know if Shedeur will play in that game or not, because both of them be getting ready to, get ready for the NFL Combine and their pro days as they look to be drafted in the first round and the top 10 picks of the 2025 NFL Draft. And so even if they do win the 8-4, go 8-4, when it's time to vote for the Heisman Trophy, how many? Let me say it exactly how I wrote it down. Will the dislike from the media towards head coach Deion Sanders cause the voters not to choose Hunter? There's a lot of media members who have votes who do not like Coach Prime. They don't, for whatever reason it is, whether it's personal, whether it's because of his bravado, his machismo, the way he carries himself, the confidence that he has. I don't know what it is when it comes to these certain, media members, but there are a lot of media members who have votes who probably will punish Travis Hunter just because they don't like Deion Sanders. Coach Prime. Y'all drop it in the comments if y'all think I got a point. If you think that I'm on to something, hey, look, in the immortal words of the great Negro poet, former NFL player, my friend, former host of In the Trenches, am I on something or on to something? I got to make sure that, did I say his name? Oh, my bad. Indy Kalu. Indy Kalu, former NFL player, former host of In the Trenches, used to have a segment called On Something or On to Something. And I'm going to clip this and I'm going to send it to him today. Do you think that the voters who have Heisman Trophy votes who dislike Coach Prime will punish Travis Hunter because of Coach Prime? I honestly believe that will happen. I'm just being 100 with you. I honestly and truly believe that will happen. That when it comes down to voting, they're going to say, wait a minute, hold on. Time out. He played for Colorado, right? Who is his coach? Oh, I think Travis Hunter is a great guy. I've watched him when he's on the streaming with Kai Cenat. I've seen him in person. I heard his interviews. I've heard him at the press conference. I think that he's a great guy, a great young man being coached by a pompous, arrogant man. I'm not going to vote for him. Who's next? Oh, Cam Ward. Yeah. If Alabama is within the top three and headed to the college football playoffs, Milroe is going to get a lot of consideration. If Texas stays number one and their quarterback comes back healthy, he's going to get a lot of consideration. Georgia, they stay in there. You got a couple of players. Let me see. I can't think of I'm trying to think of some other players right now, but I know right now, if I'm not mistaken, Cam Ward is like, I think, is he the leader, Ricky? You can tell me that or not. Let me read this real quick from Ricky. With Deion saying the things in the open that coaches should keep behind closed doors will harm him. I think he has enough outside of Deion where he isn't harmed a lot, but every vote counts. And I honestly and truly believe that, right? I honestly and truly believe that he has enough. He has enough talent. I think he will have by the end of the season enough on tape that he can show voters, I deserve this Heisman Trophy. But when you're talking about the human element of feelings and emotions and, I don't like Coach Prime because he didn't answer my question, or the way that he treated this reporter or the way he treated that reporter, even though the other day, what did he say? There was a 19-year-old young person. I don't know if I don't know what the gender was, but it was a 19-year-old that was in the room, and Coach Prime said, "Hey, how old are you?" He said, 19. He said, turned to the PR guy, whoever runs the Colorado PR, and said, "Hey, he get a one-on-one anytime he want it." Turn right to him and say, "Hey, he get a one-on-one anytime he wants it." And so with that being said, because they won't publicize that a lot, but with that being said, when it comes down to it, I think that that's what's going to happen. I think that they're going to remove what he has done on the field, what Travis Hunter has done on the field, and look directly at his head coach and say, "I don't like him and I don't want him," because if he gets the Heisman, then guess who we got to hear talk? Coach Prime. If he gets the Heisman, then we got to hear Coach Prime talk, and I'd rather not do it. Now, real quickly, one of the reasons I brought this up is because I've been around for a long time. Those of you all who know me, who has known me for a long time, you know that I cover the Houston Texans, but I also cover the Rockets. And I was covering the Rockets during the James Harden years, where he was just balling out of control. And I've heard this. I heard some people say James Harden is amazing on the court. He's amazing on the court. I would never vote for him as far as being NBA MVP because of the antics and the way that he acts off the court, or some of the things that I've heard about him. I've heard that from some of the people that you all watch on a consistent basis on television that you all really, really love, who have votes for the NBA MVP. Say, I love watching James hoop. I love watching him play basketball. I ain't voting for him for the MVP. Can't. There's too much stuff James has done off the court. Too many things I've heard about James Harden. No, I can't do it. One of my ex is like, so you're not gonna vote for him, but you don't think so? Shouldn't it be an award given for his on-court performance? You're right, it should be, but it ain't gonna be my vote because I don't like him. Cool. Same way they did T.O. T.O. should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. They made him wait. Contrary to, I'm sorry, no matter how you feel about him away from the field, he deserved to be first ballot, and they didn't give it to him. And so that's what I see that could happen to Travis Hunter. All right, let me move right on because I know what y'all waiting on. I know what we're going to get to, and then we're going to get out of here because I have to be at NRG for coach and open locker room. I get to talk to Will Anderson Jr. today. I think I'm going to talk to I talked to Aziz Al-Shire yesterday. I talked to Jalen Petrie. I talked to Henry Toa. So today I'm going to talk to Will Anderson, and I think I may be able to talk to John Mechie. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. Maybe we'll do a happy hour this evening. Hold on. Let me get one more thing in here from what Ricky says. I agree what makes Deion great is himself, no matter where. Who had met with him several times when he coached at 707. He hasn't changed one bit. Some things should be handled differently. Yeah, I get it. He ain't gonna change though, because he is who he is. All right, so y'all know this show, right? Y'all know Sports Talk with Big Sarge. I know a lot of you all are following me because you love my Texans coverage. I got the best Texans coverage in the world. I got that, and I appreciate that. But the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show talks about all sports, talks about all things, and I hope that you will come in here. And when I had my own radio show, and what I like to do with this show and what I like to do with my podcast, which is coming back soon. But what I like to do is I call this a local show with a national feel. The Sports Talk with Big Sarge show is a local show with a national feel to it. Because there's people that's watching this show right now, watching this broadcast, who is like, yeah, Sarge, I think that the Texans are cool. Yeah, CJ Stroud. I like CJ Stroud. I like Tank. I like Will. I like Stephon Diggs. I like Nico Collins. I like Daniil Hunter. I like I think that the Texans have a really good team, but I'm not a Texans fan. I'm not a Texans fan. Hey, I like the Rockets. I think that they're going to be a good team, but I'm not a Rockets fan. I'm a Lakers fan. Hey, Sarge, NFL is cool. NFL is cool. NBA is cool. But I like women's college basketball because once that season starts, we will be talking about that too. This is a South Carolina Gamecock house. Women's basketball, South Carolina Gamecocks right here. This is a Don Staley cheered on household right here. So I preface all that to say that we talk about everything here. And and what I mean by we talk about everything, we talk about everything on the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show. And I told you before, whether there's one person or there are 1,000 people watching, I'm going to continue being that local show with the national feel to it. We're going to talk about everything. Now, as I digress, hey, the WNBA semifinals start on Sunday. You got the Las Vegas Aces going up against the New York Liberty and the Connecticut Sun going up against the Minnesota Lynx. So it's like the Final Four of the WNBA with some very good teams. If you follow the WNBA, and I don't mean recently when Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese got in. No, I'm talking about if you have been a fan of the WNBA for a very long time, if you've been watching, you know that these four teams right here, creme de la creme. This is the creme de la creme of the WNBA right here. I know some people are going to say, hey, Sarge, but what about the Indiana Fever? Hey, look, if they can keep their team together, it'll be their time. But it looked like Kelsey Mitchell is like, hey, I'm going into free agency and I may not come back. And I know Nylisa Smith, if that's her, I can't pronounce her name. I know her last name is Smith, but the young lady who plays for the Indiana Fever, who's like, she's already erased everything Indiana Fever from her Twitter profile. And yes, I still call it Twitter. She's erased everything and just put WNBA. If they lose, the Indiana Fever lose those two players, those are two key pieces to them making a run. They're going to need those type of players, because when you come around next year, New York is still going to be strong. Las Vegas is still going to be strong. I think Paige is coming. Paige Buckner's from UConn. She's coming into the league. And I think after that, in one more year, Juju gonna be in the league, and you're gonna have to have a team that's like, yo, we gotta be prepared. So yes, Indiana surprised a lot of people this year. We'll get to Caitlin Clark in just a second, but the Aces, Liberty, Sun, and Minnesota Lynx, that's the creme de la creme. All four of these teams have been very, very good, right? Seattle got a good team too. Dallas has a good team. They just need more help. The Sparks may be good once they can get healthy. They lost their rookie. I can't remember her name, from Stanford. They lost her for the whole for the majority of the season. Chicago, side note. How y'all fired Teresa Witherspoon? I don't get it. How y'all fire her? That's who you need. What are we doing here? Do you know how much those players love her? How many of you all have actually had and I'm talking about the Chicago Sky, the management, the friend. How many of you all have actually sat down and talked ball with her? Because she knows ball. If I'm not mistaken, she used to be an assistant coach for the New Orleans Pelicans. How many of y'all have actually talked? Well, she knows basketball. She knows basketball. And why would y'all let her go? That's crazy. When you have a team that's right there on the verge of taking the next step, they just need to be healthy. And she learned how to play with Angel Reese and Cardozo in the game at the same time. And y'all going to fire her? Now you're going to bring somebody in that has to build that rapport and build that chemistry with those players all over again. Who? You better bring in somebody good. You got to bring in like Candace Parker or like Cheryl Swoops or somebody. Like, you got to go get somebody who has really been a staple in this game and knows this game in order to keep those players happy. Because what y'all done right now, I mean, think about it. And like, y'all got a history of doing this. Like, Candace Parker wanted to leave from there. Della Dawn that used to be there that was balling. She wanted to get away from there. There's been a couple of more players that want to get away from there. So Chicago, y'all are tripping. I digress. Hey, y'all make sure y'all pay close attention to this Las Vegas Aces New York Liberty game. Because you remember last year, the Liberty lost to the Aces at home in game 4. And for those of y'all who watch the WNBA, you remember exactly how that game ended. That game ended with one of the players from the Liberty taking a shot, missing the whole rim. But Jones, the center for the Liberty, got the ball, put it back up, but time had already expired off the clock. The Liberty lost the 2023 WNBA Finals in 4 games, and in that 4th game, they lost by a score of 70-69 on a shot that was put back up after time expired on their own home court against the Las Vegas Aces. And from what I've been reading, they have not recovered from that sense. And what I mean, I'm not talking about in the win-loss column. I'm talking about emotionally. They were talking about how they went through a lot of dark days after losing to the Aces. They beat the Aces all 3 times they played them this year. They want revenge. They want blood. And I'm not talking about literally. I'm talking about figuratively. It's going to be a very, very good game because the Liberty has a very good team and the Aces have a very good team led by MVP Asia Wilson. So if y'all get a chance, check that out. That Aces Liberty is going to be good. The Connecticut Sun Minnesota Lynx is going to be good. I got the Lynx winning that. So I got the Lynx and the Aces actually playing for the playing in the finals. And so y'all get a chance, y'all watch that. And so, because I know, hey, look, my wife is a huge Aces fan. She can tell you what time every game starts. She can tell you their whole roster. She know, I think she even know assistant coaches. Now, with that being said, right, I'm gonna stick right here in the WNBA. Hold on for 1 second. I have to pull something up. Share screen. Here we go. Here we go. All right. See that? Caitlin Clark, right? Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark was phenomenal in her rookie season. She averaged 19.2 points per game, 5.7 rebounds, 8.4 assists, right? And this article on ESPN by Keith Jenkins lists all of her accomplishments in her rookie year. See that? Most points by guard in a season, most double-doubles by a rookie, most points by a rookie, most assists by a rookie. First NBA rookie to record 2 triple-doubles. First player in history to be named Player of the Month and Rookie of the Month in the same month. First player in WNBA history with 20 points, 15 assists, 5 rebounds in a game. 4-time Rookie of the Month. 3-time Eastern Conference Player of the Week. Single season score rookie single season scoring record. Single season record. WNBA single season record for assists. WNBA single season rookie record for assists. Rookie record for 3-pointers. Turnover record. That's important. Y'all remember that. Single game record for assists by any WNBA player with 19. You see that? That's the WNBA player to reach 103 pointers. 20 points, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 10 turnovers in WNBA debut May 14th. Right? So we see all of that, right? We see that Caitlin Clark is very, very accomplished. Caitlin Clark, Rookie of the Year, WNBA Rookie of the Year. Caitlin Clark is a baller. She is. You can't take that away from her at all. We seen what she did when she was in college at Iowa. We seen what she did, and we just went down the list of her accomplishments in her rookie year. Their season ended the other night against the Connecticut Suns. That was the first time I think that the Fever had made the playoffs in I don't know how long. The Fever were atrocious. They had been a bad team for a very long time. So Caitlin Clark, the way she played, along with Aaliyah Boston, along with Kelsey Mitchell, like they had some players on that team, but Caitlin Clark really helped turn that franchise around. You can't take that away from her if you believe that, you know, if you don't believe that, excuse me, if you don't believe that she is the Rookie of the Year, she's Rookie of the Year late, even before Angel Reese got hurt. Because there are some people who love Angel Reese and don't want to hear the name Caitlin Clark at all, period. But you can't. Because Caitlin Clark in her rookie season has become one of the faces of the WNBA. She can hoop. She can really hoop. She can change a game with the way that she shoots and with the way that she passes the ball. Now, does she need to clean up her turnovers? We've seen that. She led the WNBA in turnovers. She needs to clean up her turnovers. Can she play a little bit better on the defensive end? Of course she can. She has to get better on the defensive end because she was exploited sometimes in these games on the defensive end. And so she, you know, the turnovers have to get better. Her defense has to get better. But she is a very, very, very exciting person. So her success in college brought a new fan base to the WNBA, right? Right? Her success in college brought a whole new fan base to the WNBA. And her success in the WNBA brought about a whole new, brought in more a fan base to the WNBA. You got a college fan base And now you got a WNBA fan base, and this is where it gets weird. This is where it gets weird because a lot of those people who are watching the WNBA for the first time this season believes that, from her fan base, believe that it's Caitlin Clark a bust. If there's no Caitlin Clark, then the WNBA doesn't survive and exist. And I'm saying to myself, hey, listen, I remember when the Houston Comets won the first 4 WNBA titles. The WNBA has been around a long time. Well, it hasn't been as popular as it is now, Sarge. Well, that's because that there wasn't a lot of money put behind it. There wasn't a lot of hype behind it. Well, Sarge, I mean, that's what Caitlin Clark has been able to do. Well, actually, they have been pushing towards where they are for the last 2 or 3 years. They've been trending in an upward trajectory in a very long time. That's because the women's college basketball had gotten so much better that people started looking forward to the talent coming in. And so when you go back and you look at you look at the way UConn play, you look at the way South Carolina plays, you look at the way LSU plays, you look at the way Baylor has played, University of Texas, Stanford. Like there have been some good women programs when Caitlin Clark was at Iowa, how she had Iowa on the map. So Louisville had a really good team as well. So when you look at these teams and you look, I think Oregon and Oregon State, or maybe it's just Oregon State, but there's a lot of good college women's basketball teams that have put a lot of talent into the WNBA. So yes, it was actually trending upward. And then with the on-court rival between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark coming from college, coming into the WNBA, it just took it to the next level. So I digress. Caitlin Clark has brought in a new fan base based off the way she plays. And I hate to say this, it's like she brought in a fan base and it put more eyes on the WNBA, but it opened up the door, it opened up Pandora's box to a weird, very weird group set of people. There's been a lot of racist and derogatory comments made towards African-American players. Some have even received death threats if they foul Caitlin Clark too hard. Or if they foul Caitlin Clark. Hell, sometimes if you even get too close to it and it look like you're about to foul her, you're going to get some hateful email, or you're going to get hateful tweets, or you're going to get a hateful something on social media. You're going to go to your IG, or you're going to get all these people coming in making derogatory and racist comments. Hey, listen, we heard what the Connecticut Suns player said about it. Said that playing against the Indiana Fever, I've never been subjected to so many racist and derogatory comments from a fan base, and I've been in the WNBA a long time. There's a lot of weird new fans watching the WNBA. Now, with that being said, there's really nothing Caitlin Clark can do about it. Y'all want Caitlin Clark to make a statement. Even if Caitlin Clark comes out today and says, I'm going to have a press conference at 1:30 and I'm going to address what has been going on as far as these fans who have been very negative towards my colleagues, who have been very negative towards the African-American players in the WNBA. Even if she says, I'm going to make a statement in my press conference, ain't nothing going to change. Caitlin Clark can't do anything about it. And I think that's where y'all are missing the point. It does not matter if she comes out and makes a statement. If she makes a statement, it's only going to pacify you, the ones who want her to. It's not going to stop these people from acting the way that they act. That's in them. That's embedded into them. That's who they are. That's who their character is. That's what's on the inside of them. That's their mind. That's the way they carry themselves daily. It's nothing she can say. She can come out and say, hey, I don't like the way that I don't like the way that you all are making these comments. And then what they gonna say? So I don't care. This is how I feel. And I'm gonna still be a fan of yours. Oh, now they're forcing you to say these type of things. Y'all want Caitlin Clark to come out and say something, and it does not matter whether she says something or not, because it's not gonna change. It's not gonna stop. These people who are making these types of comments, these people who are making these death threats, that's who they are. That's who they always have been. They can change. I believe that people can change, but what's going to happen? What's going to happen if she makes a statement? It's going to be the same as if she doesn't make a statement. And y'all are putting a lot of pressure on this young lady. There's nothing. If let me put it like this. She played in Iowa. You don't think she's seen this before? You don't think that you don't think that maybe she's made some comments to some people when you got teams that came into Iowa who had predominantly African American players on their team, and she heard that and she's like, hey, this ain't right. Don't matter, it's not going to change. Those people are who they are. Caitlin Clark can't be in control of people's emotions. Caitlin Clark can't be in control of people's character. It's not her job. So I don't know what y'all want her to do. I don't know what y'all want her to say. I don't know how y'all want this to play out. But even if she says something, it's not going to matter because these people are who they are. And y'all are trying to make her the problem. Y'all are trying to make Caitlin Clark the problem. Y'all are trying to make Caitlin Clark the issue behind all of this, as if she could come and raise her hand and tell everybody who's making these racial and derogatory comments towards her colleagues, stop. And then all of a sudden, everybody just stop. It's not going to happen. If anything, it's not going to do anything but incite more. Oh, well, Caitlin Clark, that mean they force her, that mean her black teammates making her come out and say something. She don't really want to say nothing because she just said something a long time ago. No, hey, y'all pick it up. Y'all get louder. And then what happens? Because Caitlin Clark can go on a tour in the offseason and talk about all the racial disparities, all the racial things that, all the racial components that goes on in the world today and in the United States. And she can go on tour and talk about different types of things that happen in the African-American community and the type of things that the African-Americans have to deal with. And when that ball is tipped next season for the WNBA, those same fans who watched her say all of that going to be right back there saying the exact same thing that they said this past year and worse. So as I digress, you want Caitlin Clark to make a statement. To do what? What do you think that her statement is going to do? Because to me, for those of y'all who want her to come out and make a statement, y'all just want her to make a gesture. Well, I mean, we don't really know how she feels, Sarge, because she won't say nothing. She don't have to say nothing. She doesn't. She doesn't have to say anything. Because if you want Caitlin Clark to make a statement about what's going on that side, then y'all going to have to ask some of these African-American players in the WNBA to come out and make a statement on some of the things that Caitlin Clark is receiving from other fan bases. Don't act like it's just one fan base. Don't act like it's just one fan base that's just going at the African-American players. No, I got social media too. I talk to people who cover the WNBA too. Caitlin Clark has been called some things as well. Online, offline, in the stands. You can't ask her to make a statement because it's not her job. Her job is to play basketball. You know whose job it is to handle all that other stuff? The people who get paid to handle all that other stuff. league officials, security. Hey, y'all handle all that stuff in the stands. You know how you handle that on social media? Just block them. Block them. Oh, you get it? I don't even want to read this. I already know what it is. Bam. When you post it, you're giving them more power. And I get it. Don't get me wrong. I know why you're posting it. You're posting it because you want people to see the type of treatment that you're getting. I got that part. But sometimes it's better to just keep it moving. Let me tell you something. When I see something that's derogatory and aimed towards me on social media, I take a look at it first. And look, I'll take a look at it and I'll say, okay, so let me read exactly what they're saying. Oh, okay, cool. Well, they're trying to be disrespectful, but I don't deem this as disrespect because this is a bunch of ones and zeros. I'm looking at an algorithm right now. And so if I feed into this, then all I'm going to continue to get is this on my algorithm. So guess what? I'm going to go in, I'm going to block that person, right? Or I'm going to go in and I'll be like, hey, I don't want to see this. I'm going to block that person or go in and say I don't want to see it, or I'm going to simply just hit refresh. Once I hit refresh, I'm not going to see it. If you send it to my inbox, then it doesn't matter because all I can do is go out in there and take it out of there. So I'm cool with that. Y'all got to learn how to keep scrolling. All right. Let's go ahead and sell the South. Y'all know what I like to do. I like to sell the AFC South. Whoa. All right, we're gonna make this quick because, like I said, I got to get out of here and get over to NRG. All right. The Indianapolis Colts will take on the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday. The Steelers are 3-0, and they're playing great behind quarterback Justin Fields. Hey, funny how all it took was for Justin Fields to get out of Chicago, and look what happened. Hello? Anybody over there? Hey, you over there. Hey, you remember when Sarge had said it isn't Justin Fields, it's the Chicago Bears organization? And y'all said no, it's Justin Fields. And I said, excuse me, I said, oh, this organization is horrible. They need to tear it down and start all over again. No, Justin Fields can't. Huh? I'm talking to people who played with Justin Fields, and they're like, nah, it's that system. Because if it was just Justin Fields, then Caleb Williams would be balling right now, and Caleb Williams is not. But Justin Fields is. The Pittsburgh Steelers are 3-0. And they're probably going to be 4-0 this weekend because the Indianapolis Colts, they're too inconsistent. I haven't seen them put together a consistent nothing in 3 weeks of football. Even their win over the Bears was inconsistent. Like, it's just, they're just inconsistent. And that Steelers defense is amazing. That's a top-notch defense over there. And you think that they finna let Sarge, watch what you say, because last week, boy, you was wronger than two left shoes up in here. Well, you had some bad picks. You said some bad things. I don't care. I'm gonna say this. You think that this Steelers defense is gonna allow Anthony Richardson to come in there and have a breakout game against them? No. The Steelers know how to control the ball. The Steelers have a very good defense, and the Indianapolis Colts are too inconsistent, and they're going to lose this week. And then you have the Monday night matchup of Tennessee versus Miami. And both teams are struggling at quarterback. Miami because Tua is hurt, and Tennessee because Will Levis is starting. Okay, hold on. Hey, hello. Can y'all hear me in the back? You hear me in the back? Good. Hey, can y'all hear me up top? Good. Hey, this thing is on, right? Hello. Both teams are struggling at quarterback. Miami's struggles come from the fact that their quarterback, their starting quarterback, is hurt. He's still in concussion protocol. He's going to be out for several more weeks. The Tennessee Titans issue is Will Levis is starting at quarterback. Some of y'all will get that. Some of y'all let that go right over the top of your heads. You Titan fans are enraged right now, saying to yourself, I can't stand Sarge. I can't stand him. He right. He got a point. But I don't like Sarge. He always gotta be bringing. Why you gotta be bringing up facts and stuff? Why you gotta be bringing up facts? Why you can't just say other stuff, huh? How come you can't say other good things about the Tennessee Titans? Y'all got pretty throwback uniforms. Your throwback uniforms are amazing. That's something positive, right? I said something positive. Y'all got D-Hop. I like L'Jarius Sneed. Tony Pollard, I watched him play a lot. Like, I can't remember the other wide receiver's name. Like, y'all, I mean, there is some good things over there. I like y'all general manager. But your quarterback situation is horrible. And with that being said, I don't see you beating Miami, especially when they went out and got Tyler Huntley. Because what you really need, the only thing you really need to make the Miami Dolphins successful is you have a competent quarterback that can get the ball to Tyreek Hill. That's it. Hey, we're going to bring in about 2 or 3 quarterbacks this week, try them out. Cool. Hey, who has the strongest arm? Oh, Tyler Huntley? Cool. So you telling me that his arm is better than Boyles and Skyler? I can't think of the guy's name, whatever the other quarterback name is. So wait. So because his nickname is Snoop. So you telling me that Snoop Huntley's arm stronger? He can give more, he can scramble out and get the ball to Tyreek. Oh, bring him in. Yep, bring him in. Hey, look, we're going to tell him we're bringing him in to give him a try, but he's going to start on Sunday. Yep. Yeah, hey, man, you're looking good, man. Hey, you're looking good, man. Hey, we're still over here trying to decide. Hey, somebody get Mike. Mike, where is Mike? Shoe shopping again? Oh, my God. Somebody text Mike and tell him to get his ass over here. Yeah, we need plays for him. No, I mean, hey, Tim, step in and you take a couple of reps too. Hey, somebody get Mike McDaniel's ass on the phone so we can tell him to put in these plays for Tyler Huntley until Tua gets back. Oh, yeah. Hey, man. Hey, look, I know. Sometimes Tyreek is too fast for the ball. I got it. I mean, I understand that you threw it 7 yards. You under threw him 7 yards. I got that part, but hey, listen, hey, you got a job already, man. Let the new guy get some more reps to see what he can do. Wow. Can get the ball to Tyreek. That's all we need. That's it. Plus, on the offense side of the ball for the Tennessee Titans, the problem is their offensive line isn't good. That offensive line has allowed Levis to be pressured 47% of his dropbacks. And that's the highest in the league. So not only do you have an inconsistent quarterback, you also have an offensive line who can't protect your quarterback. So, I mean, if I wanted to, shoot him some bail, if I wanted to shoot Will Levis some bail, the first thing I'll say is, hey, man, his issue is he doesn't have enough time because his offensive line is putting him under entirely too much pressure. 47% of his dropbacks, that's almost half of the time that he drops back, there's somebody in there saying, hey, I'm right here, my guy. I'm right here. So, with that being said, yep, the Titans lose. I don't have the Titans beating Miami because even though they're suffering on the offensive side of the ball, they still have a very competent defense. I got them, which brings us to the final game. We've been talking about this game all week. I've been talking to you guys about it. The final game that we're going to discuss is the Houston Texans versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. And, real quickly, offense got to start fast. It looks like Cam Akers will probably be starting again this week. Even I think that Joe Mixon is still out. Hold on. I can tell y'all real quick. Let me go to one of my trusted sources because he is at practice. And let's see. According to Aaron Wilson, he says, okay, Texans wide receiver Tank Dell has not practiced this week due to painful bruised ribs and not expected to play against the Jaguars. Bet you on deck. Mixon returns to practice So Mixon return to practice on Friday. Okay. Returns to practice Friday morning from the ankle injury that kept him out against the Vikings. So okay, so that's why I go and get you all the facts. So according to Aaron Wilson from KPRC2 Houston, Joe Mixon returned to practice today, which I guess we'll get it once I get off of here and get down to NRG. We'll talk about that. He returned to practice. Nico Collins practiced, and so Damian Pierce did not practice. So we're looking at Cam Akers and Joe Mixon splitting time this week. They got to get. It's almost like we beating this thing like a drum. We know offensive side of the ball has to be better. The offensive line has to be better. The play calling has to be better. The execution has to be better. The defensive line needs to turn their pressures into sacks. Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter are getting a lot of pressure on these quarterbacks the first 3 weeks. They just haven't converted them into sacks. I think I seen where head coach D'Amico Ryan said that they got to convert those things into sacks. He has to have more sacks. And so that's why I said they need at least 5 sacks against Trevor Lawrence, because you have to force Trevor Lawrence into turnovers. You have to. And if you can get him to throw the ball on a consistent basis, that gives rookie cornerback Kamari Lassiter and Derek Stingley on the other side of the field, they're going to be able to have a lot of opportunities to, get some turnovers, force some interceptions. And Kalen Bullock, whose snap count it has been increasing, he'll get an opportunity as well to maybe get his second or third. I mean, Kamari may get his second or third. Derek may get another one. So you got to force Trevor Lawrence into some turnovers, into some bad decisions. And the last thing is you got to cut down on the penalties. They got to cut down on the penalties. Entirely too many penalties the last 2 weeks. And I'm not just talking about pre-snap. I'm talking about penalties in general. Entirely too many penalties. And I got the Texans winning that. The Texans are going to win that game to go to 3-1 with Buffalo coming into NRG Stadium, and that is going to be a doozy. I believe the Texans will make Jacksonville 0-4. I do as well, Ronald. I do believe that they'll make them 0-4 as well. So, yeah. So I got the Colts losing to the Steelers. I got the Titans losing to the Dolphins, and I got the Texans beating the Jags. The Texans also need that game because the Texans need that game so they can go up 2-0 in the division. And that'll give them, that'll put them on their way as far as repeating as AFC South champions. Yeah. Thanks, Marcus. I got that too. Hold on, because I read what Aaron Wilson said, and yeah, Joe Mixon is back at practice today. So when I get down to NRG, we'll get a chance to talk to head coach D'Amico Ryan. We may get a chance now that he's practicing. We may get a chance to talk to Joe Mixon today. Sad news that Tank Dell probably won't be able to play. He did not look good after the game when I was talking to him. And, because it was reported that it was like his wrist or something. And I was like, this ain't no wrist. Tank has his arm too close to his side, like he's trying to protect himself. And I'm saying that ain't got nothing to do with arm and wrist. That's something along that right side. And, like they say, it's bruised ribs. So we'll see. All right, y'all. I got to get ready to get up out of here. One more thing. I'm going to start doing this new segment every Friday, right? It's called Bad Movie Reviews. So I somehow found myself loving bad movies or series, like whether it's on Amazon Prime, whether it's on Peacock, whether it's on Paramount Plus. I don't know. I find myself watching these terrible movies. And one minute I'm an assassin. The next minute, I'm a martial art expert. So I don't know how I end up watching all these bad movies, but I watch a lot of bad movies. And I'm going to go back and pull some of those bad movies that I watch and talk to y'all about them later on down the line. But I had to come. I got to start this today because I've been saying I've been wanting to do this. I'm going to do this, right? And this is going to carry you all into the weekend. So I watch bad movies. I can't help it. And I can tell within the first 3 to 5 minutes whether it's gonna be a bad movie. But in those 3 to 5 minutes, I'm already invested because I'm like, can it get worse? And then it gets worse. And then it gets good. And then it gets worse again. Then it get bad. And then it get like terrible. And then somehow it just ends up worse. I've watched a plethora of bad movies. With that being said, how many of y'all drop this in the comments? How many of y'all has seen this movie that's on Netflix right now called The Union with Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry? Drop that in the comments if you've seen it. The Union with Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry. And of course, it's one of those movies where the CIA is involved, and the Union is this secret organized crime fighting organization that Halle Berry and some others, that she leads this team. And at the beginning of the movie, I'm going to spoil it because it's terrible and none of you all should have to watch this movie either. At the beginning, her whole team gets killed as they're trying to extract some type of intel to keep the names of the secret operatives and FBI agents, CIA, DA. Like, if you get a hold of this information, it's going to be terrible because all of the people that are out in the field working undercover is going to be exposed. And in the first scene, seems like everybody get killed except Halle Berry. So now they need somebody to help them go get the briefcase back. Cue Mark Wahlberg, a guy who works construction, still in his hometown, still live with his mama. And when they show him, when they bring him into the scene, he is just finishing having sex with his 7th grade English teacher. Yeah. Goes downstairs. Her son is sitting at the table. Her full adult son, who he probably went to school with, is sitting at the table. He still live with his mama. So Mark Wahlberg still live with his mama. This dude still live with his mama. It's one of those things. Mark Wahlberg can't even afford a car. The car he's driving is probably stolen because he's starting it up with a screwdriver, hot wiring it. And so, of course, Halle Berry, who used to be his high school sweetheart or whatever, shows up and recruits him to become a secret agent. And he becomes a secret agent within like 2 weeks or less, maybe 5 days. You ever seen the movie Armageddon? You remember when they had to save the world and they was like, hey, we got to make y'all astronauts like really, really quick. That's exactly what they did in this movie. It's horrible. I wish I had 4 hands. Y'all remember when Dave Chappelle said that? I wish I had 4 hands so I can give it 4 thumbs down. And so then the movie goes on and it's just the exact same thing. And oh my God, every movie you've ever seen like this ends up the exact same way. This movie was horrible. Do not watch The Union. Now, I watched it. Will I watch it again? No. I love Mark Wahlberg as an actor. I love Halle Berry as an actress. They have played in some very good movies. The Union should have been Disunion. It should have been called The Reunion of Terrible Movies. That movie sucked. It was horrible. And I don't even know why Netflix will put that movie on Netflix. That's a terrible movie, y'all. That's a terrible movie. I'm sorry. That movie was horrible. I could predict exactly what happened within the first 7 minutes. But now I'm vested. If I didn't put 7 minutes into it now. So now I'm like, hey, me and the movie go together. Like, we're in a relationship now. And I'm saying to myself, yep, it's about to happen. Oh, now all of a sudden he goes from being a terrible person as shooting, trusting people, driving, fighting. And in 5 days, all of a sudden he's an expert spy. Well, all these other people, how long they went in spy training? How long were they with the CIA or whatever secret union? You know what? It's terrible. Do not watch The Union. Netflix probably ain't gonna never give me no sponsorship. Been tuned into the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show. I'm your host, Big Sarge. Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter. Make sure you follow him at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Follow me on the ticket and the talk at Big Sarge Media, on YouTube at Big Sarge Media, www.bigsargemedia, and on Instagram at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. I'm about to get down here to NRG Stadium so we can talk to some of these players, so we can talk to Coach about Joe Mixon returning to practice. I will have an update for you all later on. We may even do a happy hour this afternoon. So y'all bring y'all best beverages while y'all at home. Do not drive. Do not drink and drive. Let me say that. Get your best beverages. Chill out with Big Sarge, and we're going to have us a nice time. Big Sarge, I'm out.
Hard work. Hard work. Hard work.